Okay, welcome back to another Deep Chats episode, and I'm back again with my mate John.
Hello.
Yep. And we're going to continue our conversation about Yakuza, but we're going to go into more depth of each game. So I think today we're going to stick with Yakuza 1.
Hmm.
And we're going to talk about both remake and original, because might as well put them into one, we can compare them then.
Yeah, that made sense.
And so do you want to explain what Yakuza 1 is?
So, Yakuza 1, as the name rather helpfully states, was the very first Yakuza game that came out in, I think, 2005 on the PS2. Yeah, it's a game that has many, many issues, but also has its charms. And then it was remade, or there was a remake of it in 2017 under the name Kiwami. But basically, 1 is the very first Yakuza game, the prototype, I guess, of what the series was.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's got flaws, but it's the first ever one, so you're going to expect a bit of like flaws because it's their first ever attempt at it.
Yeah. Like, it's not a terrible game.
It's quite late.
But
oh no, it's just like it was talking about just like how the combat system is a bit broken, but like
and the voice acting.
If you're talking about the English voice acting, you have to have it on. There's no way to change that to Japanese, and there is no kind of
you're
stuck with it.
And the loading times.
Oh god, yeah, loading times. But this is like a late PS2 game. 2005 is quite late.
Yeah. I mean, I guess about midway through its cycle.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been. Was it early or late 2005? Because this is when like Xbox 360 was released. Well, if it was late.
I can't remember. It's been. It was very late actually. It was December the 8th in Japan.
Wow. So
basically.
How long?
And then it came out in Europe the year after.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like September.
So we got a year after.
Yeah. Basically.
So we got that 1 and 2. We got 2 a year after 2, or I don't know.
2.
I mean,
I think that came out in 2008 over here.
Wow, it's quite late.
Okay. Yeah, it was released in 2006, but I'm sure it was released in 2008 over here for whatever reason.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking that the developers of Yakuza, the guys doing Monkey Ball? Yeah, it is the guys doing Monkey Ball, isn't it? So I'm guessing.
And he had a hand in
before Yakuza. Yeah, so I'm guessing it was like before Yakuza, it was mainly Monkey Ball games they're making. Cause that was big. I can't think of any other games that team were making. And then before it must have been. It is the Shenmue team, isn't it? It might not be all of them, but it's like most of them.
Yeah, he was involved in Shenmue in some way, the director.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was involved in Shenmue, but
sure.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know, I can't remember what role, but he was definitely, I'm sure he was involved in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, what's it, 18 years ago almost.
Yeah, do you want to quickly explain the brief storyline of 1?
So 1 is set in the same year, 2000. Well, actually, no, it starts in 95 and basically sees Kazuma get dragged into a family drama with murder mystery involved, and then the game is actually set in 2005, and then it basically follows Kazuma trying to find out the truth of what happened. And also, there's a lot of missing money in the game, and he also meets a little girl who he basically becomes a fatherly figure to. And I mean, basically the whole game takes place in Kamurocho, and I mean, it's just basically that. It's you follow Kazuma through his journey.
Yeah, and this is the same with Yakuza 2 and 1. They're both the same. The way they were done, it was like Resident Evil. It was all like picture based, but you're 3D models. If I mean, it was like you're running around in like a pre-rendered CG area, like an old school like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But you're 3D models.
Yeah.
And then the remake obviously is fully 3D. That's probably why they remade 1 and 2 because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's so outdated.
Yeah.
So just to say that, it basically is a new take on a Streets of Rage game with RPG and adventure elements, because there's no other game like it. It's kind of very unique. There's no other, even now, there's no one trying to clone the gameplay of Yakuza. Well, not of anyway. Like, it's basically it's Sega's attempt at their own kind of like Grand Theft Auto type game, where it's not like sandbox like Grand Theft Auto, but it's like very condensed city where you can go around and just do what you want really.
Yeah.
But there's like so much in it because it's such a condensed. It's just like a city area. it's like packed with loads of stuff.
Yeah,
Where like
yeah.
other games are open world games, not open world, but other games are like sandbox. There's a lot of emptiness.
Yeah, yeah. It's basically they try to pack as much into a small area as possible.
Yeah, you got those mini games and little side missions, which other games like Grand Theft Auto do. It is like a Japanese take on that kind of game. I guess the best way to say it.
But yeah, no, the original is in many ways the basic prototype of what the series would become.
Oh yeah.
The combat's quite basic. There's not a huge amount of mini games, and the side missions aren't anywhere near as in depth as some of the later games. But there's still like a charm to it, I guess. Seeing like where the series has evolved.
Of course, now you got the remake. There's always you can just play that, but it's still nice to play just for how it was, like history.
Yeah.
It's still interesting. I don't know. I don't know about you, but I like that old school graphics where you're like walking around like in a pre-rendered picture. I know it's cool.
It is cool. I mean,
yeah.
I prefer it too. But no, the original definitely has its cool moments.
It has some flaws, like the whole funeral stage is bloody long-winded and annoying.
Which is funny because in Kiyomi I think it's actually slightly longer, but then it's a whole different game.
Yeah, it's just because I think it's just done better. Because if I remember right, on that section on the original, there's no like information, no guide, so you got to just figure out. Because like on the later ones, there's little pink dots and tell you where to go. But the first one that doesn't tell you where to go, so that first bit where you're trying to get into like the funeral. You can spend ages trying to figure out what the hell, like who to talk to, what do I do, and that's what makes it long.
And it can be quite glitchy as well, trying to do what they asked you to do.
Oh yeah, because you gotta not get seen or something, but it's like well, it doesn't work properly.
It's like, it's a lot harder in the original than it was in Kiyomi.
Yeah, that's another thing. In difficulty wise, they've made them. I don't know. I think they're kind of all similar balance.
Kiyomi is probably the hardest game in the series.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah, that's.
Yes, you're right.
It's got certain.
I think that's due to just the pacing of it. It's such a fast-paced game.
Yeah, and the enemies are just genuinely a lot stronger. But the original, I don't know. It's hard to tell because sometimes the difficulty can be in the combat, just like how glitchy.
Just trying to fight against the system, not actually the enemies.
No.
The targeting is awful.
Yeah. But so it is kind of weird to think that like 8's been announced and that's coming out next year. So shows you how far the series has come.
I don't know. We've got how many are there now in total? If you include main.
So 9, I guess. If you don't, because you got 0.
If you're counting the new one coming out, if you're counting 0, and if you're going to count the side one, like kind of in between 6 and 7.
I guess that'll make it 10.
There's 10. Yeah, Jesus.
And then obviously you have all.
And there's loads of spin-off games.
But yeah, so that's the basic idea of the original.
Yeah, and it introduced all the main characters. Everyone knows that Majima's got all those famous characters pretty much introduced in one. I think all of them are pretty much. Yeah,
a good chunk of the characters. Some appear in 2, but a lot of the original characters. And also, like, I suppose we should talk about a bit. Kiyomi is slightly different in that it's more based on Zero's gameplay than.
Yeah, they changed the battle system. It's the same engine as Zero.
Yeah.
And they've expanded it. It's not just a remaster or a remake. It's a remake. So they've expanded things and they've changed it up a bit.
Yeah, like Majima.
They made Majima more of a he's more of a role in it as well because he was just a part of the story. But now he's like in just as a side content. So he's always around and.
Literally.
It's just kind of for the fans. It's service for the fans. That game for Majima. I didn't realize Majima. They kind of just made Majima a massive part of the series from 0 until like even Kiyomi 2 to put a bit more. It wasn't in much, but it gave him like an extra whole storyline.
And he also had like a huge side game content.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So he's in it quite a lot. But yeah, like in this.
Yeah, I don't think the first one had.
He's.
Because it's the first one's the original. I don't think there's many mini games. All I can remember is the
so there's UFO
capture.
UFO. There was like a really basic version of batting cages. The gambling mini games. I think possibly Shogi and Mahjong, and I think that's it.
Yeah, very basic.
Yeah, 2 was the first game to introduce bowling, I think, and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
It is. Yeah. Oh, I said it. It's an interesting game, but it is one that's hard to go back to.
Yeah, I mean, when did you first play 1? Because I know it's not your first one,
God,
but when did you play 1?
2011. Because
2011.
I
Okay.
think I played them in the weird order. I played 3, 1, then 2.
Yeah. I guess you played 3 and said, I wonder what the original was like,
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
see, maybe story-wise,
Yeah,
and then,
because 3 had like this whole, you can go back and see what there's like a flashback to the stories from the original.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I did that, and yeah, just went from there, and then obviously the series, went onwards from that.
Yeah, you caught up the series then, because I don't know if 4 was out, or when you played 3, I think 4 was still not out.
4 came out the
No.
year after.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But no, the original game is, I mean, it's not a long game at all, probably 15 to 20 hours, although you could probably do it quicker if you just...
If you just did the main story stuff, then it's probably about 10, probably.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like, it is... I do actually think the game looks quite cool for what was a PS2 game. They do add a lot of detail.
Oh, yeah, it's
to,
weird.
the only other thing as well, the game's always set at night. It wouldn't be until... Well,
It is, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 has it really briefly where you do go to daytime. But
Did they do it on Kiyomi though? Did Kiyomi put any daytime?
yeah,
in it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Okay.
It does also briefly rain during the story. I wish you could like just trigger it more.
Yeah. I remember Kiyomi 2 did that really well. The rain was amazing.
Yeah.
And,
But yeah, no. Yeah, the original game is. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'd be like, if you, it's like a history piece. It's interesting to look at, but yeah, actually playing it can be.
yeah, you don't have to beat it. Like, if someone started it and got a whole thing, I can't do it. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, yeah, I can understand if you quit halfway through, but just wanted to
if
be
someone
curious
asked me
about it.
which one should they play to get the best experience of one, just play Kiyomi. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's not like they haven't cut anything. There's
No,
everything's in it with
literally,
more. So
I think, and they also expand a lot of the side stories. They actually did a lot for a
yeah, they
game that was
do.
effective.
Because they link it to Zero, don't they?
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah,
link
yeah.
to Zero,
There's a
so
lot of
it's kind of
fan
like
service.
yeah.
And yeah, just in general, they also added a bit more to the main story.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I need to play it again. It's been a long time since I played Kill 1.
Yeah, same. But no, the only other real addition to the PS2 game was that they did have the ultimate battle mode thing that are in later games. It was in this one as well.
Oh yeah.
But it was really hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I think with 1 is like it's not that hard of a game, but what makes it hard is like when you're trying to punch, you end up punching the air, not the enemies.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
makes it difficult.
Yeah,
Otherwise-
and you spend a lot of time.
I think that's because they knew the system was kind of broken. They got obviously probably made the enemies less health and that because it didn't seem to take as long. But they probably took it into account that this doesn't kind of work. But we haven't got time to fix this system because 2 fixes it. There's no problem with 2 at all. But
I feel like with 1, a lot of it was trial and error.
yeah. And obviously they probably have a timeline of how to.
Yeah.
We've got to make the game in about 2 years,
Yeah,
and they
'cause I
have
think
perfect systems. But you know,
I think Sega originally weren't actually behind the idea. I think it took him a while them to actually get the idea for anyone to actually take them serious.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny now when you see how popular it is, and it's like Sega's biggest franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It's yeah, but then like I suppose we should talk about it briefly. The voice acting in the original is atrocious.
Oh yes.
Everyone swears, especially the F word. Literally everyone.
Yeah, everyone just swear. I think the way they do it is make it. I don't know. I obviously thought because it's like gangs and that. We just copy like
It's from
gang movies. They swear all the time, but it's not.
But like, I don't know.
But the thing is, the personality of Yakuza is not like that.
Yeah.
It's not. They're not gangs. The Yakuza, so it just completely ruins the characters because they kind of just. It's just like some. Like chavs or like just talk. It's just terrible.
It's just very, it's just very weird. It just doesn't really make any sense. And like,
Yeah, because Yakuza, they're organised crime, and it's like the voice actors are unorganised crime people doing the voice acting. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like petty people, like the worst voice actors. Probably, it's probably Majima. I don't know. His voice actor's awful.
yeah,
It really
it's
is.
not good. It's very bad. I don't know. In general, it's just bad. It's very bad.
Yeah.
The music's good.
Oh, music's good on one. Yeah, I like the music on one. Like, music's always been good at Sega. You can't go wrong with Sega music.
Except Kenzo. Even that's not
Oh yeah.
terrible. But there's some weird.
No, there's only a
sounds.
few. I think they just, I think the main guy's day off that day or something, and they got some
They just
like,
stole some
intern to do it or something. I don't know.
Stole some music online.
Yeah, of Tekken.
Someone like
They've
Tekken,
changed it a
like
bit.
some Tekken fan group or something, and I went, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
For our like samurai game.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I mean, what do you remember of one then? What were your experiences with?
Well, if you say what stood out, that's what I'd say. What stood out to you? For me,
Mm.
what stood out to me, it's not a good thing. It's a bad. Well, two things. Obviously, the targeting system was terrible, and that really annoyed me.
Yeah.
And what stands out to me, which is, you're going to laugh and probably remember, this, when you walk around the town, there's this like really annoying sound effect that keeps playing, like a chicken or some bloke like going, "Hey," and it's looping constantly
Yeah.
wherever you go, and that just stood out. Oh my god! Like the atmosphere of the city is pretty bad on the first two because they're just like random sound loops or just keep looping. It's not all dynamic.
And it's like, I know exactly what you mean. Well, one of them, there's the weird guy that chases you, and he does sound like a chicken. And I think he's
that's the one,
I think
yeah.
he's meant to be swearing, saying what the F, but it's sped up. for some
Oh yeah,
reason.
it's a really high pitch as far
And
as.
it's sped up. And then like the second sound effect is the town thing, and it
Yeah.
just never stops. It's really annoying.
It's because like it's a massive city and they got like 10 seconds of like city sound.
Yeah.
And that'll do. We loop that.
Yeah.
And it's like what?
The only place you don't hear it is in the park, and that's it.
Yeah,
everywhere else. I mean, I do remember that.
I think.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anything else that stood out to you? Any good points on the original? Really,
God, I'd have
old.
to really think about that.
I guess story-wise, it can have to be gameplay. It can be story, like anything.
Yeah,
Where
the
it's like.
story's alright. I mean, again, it's one of those things where, like, I'm trying not to compare it to Kiyomi because I keep thinking, yeah, that did it better.
Oh yeah.
I guess because it's funny. Some of the people I've seen online actually do really like the original. And
Okay.
do I think it's the worst game in the series? No, I think you might know which game I'm thinking of when I say that. It's got zombies in it. There's a hint.
Yeah, that one's the worst one. If we
We'll
don't
get
count
to that
then,
one
yeah.
day.
If you don't count that, yeah, we'll get to that one day. But if you don't count that, then one is the worst.
Yeah.
But it's because it's the first. You
I
can't
mean,
help it.
if I had to say, I will say this: if I had played it the original, I think it would have been. It would definitely would have had perhaps a more positive impact because it would have been like, okay, this is actually something I could see that could really work. You know, like there is cool ideas, and I've always liked the idea of like an open world beat 'em up, and then it's in Japan, and then obviously,
Yeah, nothing like that before. Nothing like that
yeah,
before.
and I think later
So-
games had the more wacky side content.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's comedy. It's got a Japanese comedy, which other Western games don't do.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I guess it's just again, it's one of those things where I say, like playing it now, I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone. There's not, unless you got it for free or you got it at a ROM or something. I wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah. No.
don't even know how
And
much
you see, I think it's quite expensive. I think it's not cheap. It's like back in the day, it was like not. It wasn't like mega cheap. It was kind of like mid-range.
Yeah, I think I
it
got
was like
it
20
for
quid.
like a tenner.
Yeah. But even now, it's still like I think it's like 15 now.
Oh
it's
my
like not.
God,
it hasn't
so
gone down.
22 quid.
Yeah, it's gone up.
Dead
The
Souls is
value's gone up on the
42.
original. What? Dead Souls? You say it's 42 quid?
Yeah, see, that's 42 quid for it.
I guess because they're rare, no one wants
Yeah,
them. So the
they've remade.
rarity
I've
goes up.
still got this game.
That's when they remake games and remaster them, it makes the value down the original
Yeah.
because like you've got the better version.
Yeah, I think
so-
the original actually was quite a bit more before Kiyomi came out. So
yeah, we went down. Yeah, Kiyomi comes out. That's mean, and all these remakes make the value go down
Yeah.
the originals.
but yeah,
So people like hold on to these games, and then like I'm gonna set for loads. The remake comes out, oh, it's gone
Yeah.
now.
and it did also have some heat actions, the original, not a lot.
Oh yeah, the special moves here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it started that off.
yeah, it basically is a very almost like I don't want to say a demo, but like an introduction to what the series would become.
Yeah, like you said, prototype.
Yeah,
it's prototype of what the series is going to be.
Yeah,
I mean, what stood out to me in the original was probably just the like way it's. Well, I think just the system. I mean, it's nothing like I thought it'd be,
yeah.
and I think I like the mission, like the main stages. I like that because when you go into like the main stages, it's kind of like a new take on a Streets of Rage game. And that is when that Streets of Rage mode gets in. When you do like the main stages, you run like an old school beat 'em up game where you get enemies, and then you get to the boss, and it's got like a coloured health bar, and it's literally an old school Streets of Rage in 3D.
Yeah.
The main missions, like the main stages.
Yeah.
I think that's what stood out to me in the old game.
And
Just like this cool like. It's kind of like a Streets of Rage game with added exploration and story.
yeah, and I suppose actually the one positive thing I'll say is that graphically, I know it's not the prettiest game, but I do think the city, especially in some of the 3D battle stages, does look really cool. Like,
yeah, for PS2, it's really good.
It is very impressive what they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, it's like I said, it's a prototype for what the series would become.
Yeah. I have a feeling that some of the people working on Yakuza did work on old school Streets of Rage.
They probably did.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's like that kind of game.
It feels like a lot of them have come from different teams when they.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I said, the game now is nearly 18 years old.
Yeah, it's crazy. 20th anniversary soon. I wonder what they're gonna make for that.
Well, they're making.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's
another story, but I think we should talk about Kiyomi now because now we can talk about the changes of Kiyomi. I mean, when did you first play Kiyomi? Well, for me, it came out. I bought it.
Yeah, 2016. I played the Japanese.
Yeah, I think it's early, wasn't it?
I think
the Japanese one early 2016.
I might be misremembering this, but it was around the same time they released the Yakuza 6 demo.
Yeah, you got
it
6
came
demo
with
with it,
didn't
I think.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was just as I went to Japan. I think it was January because I moved to Japan and then I got it literally.
Yeah.
That time, so it would have been.
I'm
January.
sure it came with the game. It was like a free demo.
Yeah, you got a demo with it. I think you had to get the Kiyomi, and then you get like a demo you download, and that demo was unique.
Yeah.
It wasn't even something in the game. It was cool.
When we get to 6, we'll go into
that,
it. But anyway, I played the English version when it came out in August of 2017. Yeah, I mean, like, it builds off the Zero combat. You have 4 different styles.
That's cool.
Speed, power. The speed one in Kiyomi is ridiculous.
Oh my god. It's so fast.
Absolutely.
It's like a Sonic game.
Yeah, literally. Zero, it's all about power. Kiyomi, it's all about speed.
Oh my god. Just remembering the fighting style on that engine, like Zero and... if you want arcade combat, Zero and Kiyomi 1 is the best because oh my god, the feeling is so arcadey but great. Like especially when you do the fast one, you do all the dodging, like the quick box of dodging. That's so good.
And in Kiyomi, it becomes one of the most overpowered things in the whole game.
I remember like the heat actions were over the top on Kiyomi 1. Oh my god.
So basically what they did was they took the original game, added some more side content like the Majima. So basically the system is that Majima, for his own reasons, starts stalking Kazuma throughout the city. And
you get him. He follows you around. It's like a clocked out horror game. It's like a murderer chasing you around. Pretty
sometimes
much.
he'll just join in random battles you're having.
Yeah, I remember that. You're getting around the county, he just walks in, goes right, let's have a fight.
Yeah,
so
and suddenly you're fucking fighting him. And
there's like a full boss as well.
Yeah, and then like you play mini games against him. Like literally.
He pops anywhere.
Yeah.
I remember in Japanese it was like Doku Demo Majima, which is anywhere Majima.
Yeah.
And literally anywhere, like a manhole, you just come out a manhole out randomly. You go into hostess and he's the hostess and stuff like that.
And and also like they added more mini games like bowling, that weird like bud fighting card game.
I think, like I don't. I think there's only a few Yakuza games where I've actually wanted to 100%. And Kiyomi, I don't think I 100% it, but that one I tried to do 100% on Kiyomi.
Yeah.
And 6. 6 I did do 100%. Well, trophies 100%. I didn't do actually all completion because of Mahjong. Fuck Mahjong, but otherwise I would have done it.
Stopped me getting
but I think Kiyomi. Yeah, so I haven't done. I had Zero's when I played least, which is weird. But I still haven't actually beaten Zero. I've seen it all. I haven't played it all.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I need to play that still.
Yeah, you're missing out on like one of the best games. But anyway,
I know.
So yeah, they added that, and then like the side quests are a bit more expanded. So the characters have more like to the stories of what's happening in the world.
Yeah, the leveling up system was same as it wasn't same as Zero. It was different, but it had like did it have a grid system?
Yeah, but it was similar. Yeah. But Zero's was all about money. Because in Zero,
that was a money system.
Yeah, because in Zero you basically
you got like shit load of money on that game. It's weird. Like, that was weird.
Because
it was cool,
it was
but
to
it was
do
weird.
with like a callback to because the 80s were like Japan's boom periods.
Yeah, it's a comedy boom. Yeah, so it's all about the money era of Japan. But yeah, that's Zero's story. But one, it was like a sphere grid where you level up and you put points into things. And I think what style you use, like you get different colours, different styles, and you got like a grey colour, which is any.
Yeah,
ability.
it was like a general
kind of is like a
level
Final
up.
Fantasy X thing.
Yeah. And
I kind of stole the sphere grid from 10.
Although to be fair, I think a lot of games have done it by then.
I think a lot of games have like just looked at Final Fantasy X and went, we're going to use that system, which is great.
But yeah, and then it's not the biggest game. It's more like a small little remake of the original, but it is very fun. And it's not like it's a remaster. It's like an in between remaster and remake because it's not like a full remake from the ground up. It's kind of like it remaking it in a new engine, but it does feel like the old game just done up. It doesn't feel like they've changed a lot of it. No, and they added a bit more to the main story about how events unfolded. And
that helped because I mean it does explain quite a little bit more. On the first one's like what, but then they linked it with Zero, like why? So which was good. But it kind of, to me, it's like you kind of want to. You don't have to play Zero, but it's kind of better to play Zero first because it's linking up.
I always say if you want to get into the series, play Zero first. Literally, it is.
Yeah, just start from Zero. Start from story way.
It's really now the first game.
A
lot of the characters you meet in 1, you meet in 0, and there's more about the history with them and Kazuma. And
and it gives you more of like a detailed background of Kazuma himself. Because on the first one, it's like you don't really know what Kazuma's about. It's just some guy.
They do a lot better story in this as well. As I said, I just think Kiyomi did a really good job of just being a more complete game.
Oh yeah, it's a really good remake. Really good remake. Like, they done it. There was nothing I would have changed in Kiyomi. Like they done everything and more.
Yeah,
so.
And I will say this: it's probably got some of the hardest bosses in the whole series.
Because this is how fast it is. I remember like Amon, the secret boss, being pretty mental on Kiyomi. The problem is,
it took me.
I mean, it is a really hard game. Yeah, it took me a few goes, but it is really hard until you unlock that counter move, which is still completely broken. It's not as broken as like the other ones. But Kazuma's counter move, if you know how to pull it off, it's like the whole game's easy. The good thing is you don't unlock it until near the end anyway. You can't get it for a long time. Otherwise, you could just like go for the game.
One boss in the game, and I won't say who it is, but like late towards the end of the game, who's to most people the hardest boss in the entire series.
It's
not the final boss. It's the one before you fight.
Not Nishiki, but what's his name? I don't know, is it the one with all like the cops? Not cops, but like the gun. Yes. Oh god, that is really the second to last boss is like one of the hardest in the series.
Yeah, that boss is a total bitch. For many reasons. But basically they also made. One thing I do remember really liking about Kiyomi's combat is they made the system really flawless, so you could be in like, I don't know, ground style, the blue one, then literally press the up whatever to change the fast, and it does it so seamlessly, so you can almost just keep...
Yeah, they kind of... Yeah, done like a DMC thing where you can just switch styles on the go. You can keep changing your...
Yeah.
To change the situation, like, this ain't working out, I just go to fast and then go quick change, or go to like, I think... Was there heavy? There was a heavy
Yeah,
style
yeah,
on
ground.
Kiyomi.
Yeah. Where Kazuma's like ground style. You don't really use it in Kiyomi.
Oh
that
yeah,
much.
you don't. No, but I think all it is you don't get staggered as much. You can kind of it's like a tank.
Yeah.
You can kind of just take your hits.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't that great. It was like it's better on Zero. Remember
Yeah,
that one?
that was like the main style, but in Kiyomi, the speed style is basically.
That's the one you
style.
use. You just use speed style. Yeah, you can't beat it.
Um,
And then you get the unlock. You unlock the dragon style, which is like based on the original game. Like
Yeah.
the proper one. Remember it?
But yeah, the game, like I said, overall also they redid a lot of the soundtrack, and
I was about to say that. Yeah, and it's amazing. The remix soundtrack on Kiyomi is amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool, and
like one of my favorite tracks of all the series is the battle theme of Kiyomi. I really like that.
yeah, it's a cool song.
Yeah, such a good game. Like the music was just amazing.
Yeah, so no, like I said, Kiyomi is definitely an amazing game, and you know it's still one of my favourite games in the series.
Yeah, I mean, what's your favourite part of the original? Have you got a favourite part of the original Kiyomi?
Oh, what in the original? Do you mean the PS2 one? Or
PS2 one, yeah. Have you got any favourite parts of the original PS2 game?
God, I do remember liking the battle in Chinatown.
Oh yeah, the Chinatown, which was kind of cut on Kiyomi. That's the point.
No,
isn't it?
it's in China. It is in China. It is in Kiyomi.
Do you walk around like in it? I can't remember because remember on the original you get to walk in it. But
yeah, I don't remember you walking.
Kiyomi, you
around.
just don't get. No, I don't. I swear there's a whole area
You might do,
on the
actually.
original
I mean,
PS2
it's
version.
been
You can.
so
There's like
long.
you actually walk around. There's a China bit. Yeah.
Actually, I think you might be right.
Remember
Yeah,
that was the only issue with the
briefly.
Kiyomi. Yeah, Kiyomi they didn't like it's in it, but you just do the main
Yeah.
stage. But there's like a town area you can walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
One. I might be thinking of two actually. I think this is we're talking about two. 'Cause I remember two they cut out that area if I remember right.
Oh, maybe it was, but anyway, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was my favourite bit of the original, and I guess of Kiyomi is the whole Majima system.
I was about to say the same thing. Management system was the most thing I liked about Kiyomi, and then, well, I like it until you're trying to 100% it. Because what happens when you're trying to 100% it, you got to get a certain Majima type, so it's
Yeah.
completely random. Because it's
Yeah.
completely random, you got to like go in and out of shop constantly to trigger the right Majima.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to do 100%, it's really annoying. But if you're not trying to 100% the game, it's great. But it is annoying if you're trying to 100% it.
I did manage to do it.
You had to get
it took me a while.
because there's like different styles in Majima. There's like the hostess Majima, then there's like
Zombie.
the like baseball Majima. There's like different like Majima types,
yeah.
and you had to like trigger the right ones to get. You had to level the Majima up.
Yeah.
So you had to fight certain types of Majima to level that
Yeah.
Majima up to unlock new skills. I remember that.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I mean, like, overall, I guess if I was to give them a number, I'd give the original now a 7 out of 10, and Kiyomi like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd put the same. I just remembered something that did stand out to me, and I think I remember because when it happened on This Is Kiyomi, when it happened, as soon as it happened, I sent you a message telling you what the fuck. I remember like that first stage in the funeral. As you're doing it, halfway through, Majima just comes in randomly in the stage. Right, there's a fight, and it's random extra boss, and it just threw me off.
Which
So
is
what the
not
hell?
in the
Majima's
original.
inside. He randomly appeared.
Yeah.
No, inside the stage, and it just completely. And I just remember listening. What the hell? Majima appeared in the stage.
Yeah, and suddenly you're fighting.
And that was
him
great.
midway.
And it's like not nothing to do with the storyline. It just comes and goes, oh, let's have a bit of fun. You're
Which-
like, what the hell?
which
It's a
is
whole boss
literally,
battle within like a
and
stage.
do you remember the bit just before the whole he crashes his truck bit?
Oh, yeah.
So in the original, you just have, well, you remember the infamous line where he crashes into the building.
Yeah.
But in Kiyomi, they basically, I can't remember how it comes to it, but him and Kazuma end up in a harbour area during a fight, and literally Majima gets shot, and he like falls into the ocean and everything, and it looks like he's dead, and Kazuma just says, and Kazuma basically just leaves him. And then, and then obviously he like returns in the, it was just kind of funny like how they made it so different.
Yeah, they did change it up a bit, which is good. They did that. It's just like the random Majima battles in like the main stage to throw, just to make it new.
Yeah.
It was great, just to keep you like
Yeah.
it keep it fresh really for old players, and that was good.
And they
I
also
think that's what I liked. I think that's one of my favourite aspects of Kiyomi, just him coming out randomly as a boss in midway
Yeah.
of the stage.
it is very much a Majima fan game.
I did like the challenge modes on that one, because
Yeah.
that one had that really hard one.
I don't
that,
think
I think
we
it was like a
ever
boss
finished
rush.
it.
No, the boss rush, we tried it a few times. We did get to the last
Yeah,
boss, but oh my
it's-
god, it was
it's-
insane. I think
it's
it was
the
like,
hardest in the series.
yeah, because he just counters everything. It's ridiculous. But that has the hardest challenge mode, I
yeah.
think. I don't know with later games. I don't remember. I don't think 6 had anything like that. in
No,
it.
it doesn't.
Didn't have a
Funny
challenge
enough,
mode,
it's
did
only
it?
now just started coming back with Lost Judgment and Lost
okay.
Judgment.
Yeah, it
had
hasn't been for ages.
So they are bringing it back, and then Ishin obviously had it, but Kiyomi for
Oh god,
years.
that's a hard one to remember.
Yeah. But no, this would actually technically, and actually, funny enough, here's something I just remembered. This was
Yeah.
the last game Kiyomi to have an intro. Technically,
Yeah, because I have intros now.
the
don't.
Judgment games do, kind of, but not the same style.
Yeah, Kiyomi. Oh, and the intro was amazing, Kiyomi. That was like really hyped. The intro used to hype you up, but
Yeah.
then they like just took me out
Yeah,
for some reason.
and-
Especially the Kiyomi intro, but it's different, isn't it? The Japanese version is different because they
So-
have different songs.
So basically, the Japanese version is normally some band or something, you know. And the
Yeah, it's crap.
the English one is normally actually a song from the game or a brand new song they
Yeah,
made.
which fits.
Yeah, like-
which fits the game.
We'll get
And it's a
to
brand new song, so like the Western people get an extra song which
Yeah.
the Japanese don't get.
Zero,
Made by the Sega team, which is
yeah,
great.
Zero did that, and then with this one they used one of the boss themes, and it actually fits really well.
Yeah, I remember the intro to Kiyomi. The
And it's
music
such
was really
a
good.
song.
Yeah.
Probably the most infamous, and we'll get to it more when we get to the game, but 3.
Yeah.
The difference between
Oh,
the two
yeah,
intros.
3.
I mean, you've heard the Japanese.
Oh, I don't know. I think 5's Japanese one's probably the worst of them all.
I don't know, 3's up there.
3's pretty. Actually, yeah, 3's pretty bad.
4's actually wasn't much better. It was like that weird button.
Yeah, just got these random popular bands at a time, and it's like it doesn't
Yeah.
fit the game at all. It's awful.
The only one I actually liked was Zero's. Bubble.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, Zero's
But even then, I
Japanese
like the
theme was
English intro more.
fine. Yeah, I think this is because it's the game's music, so
Well,
it
no, that
works
one was
better.
a brand new song.
Oh, yeah, it was, yeah.
Zero's was a
But
completely
design.
new song they just made for it, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anyway, yeah, it's just kind of funny. It's the last game with an intro.
Yeah. I guess that's it for Yakuza 1. There's not much more to talk about. It's the first one.
Yeah.
There's not as much complex stuff. I mean, like 3 has a lot more to talk about, and so
Yeah.
4's got a lot in it.
And 2.
So next time we'll change topic, and we'll come back to Yakuza and do 2
Yeah,
later on, but we'll change topic next time.
yeah.
But what does it end off with? Any other comments?
Yeah, don't. As a Yakuza fan, if you're really, as someone who likes Yakuza, I recommend Kiyomi every day over the original.
Yeah, I'll play that. I only play original after playing Kiyomi,
Or
and
just
if
watch
you're
it
just
on
interested,
YouTube.
but you don't need to. Yeah, just watch it on YouTube, just to watch it go,
Yeah.
this is dodgy.
And-
And also, if you're interested in hearing bad dialogue, then yeah.
Yeah. If you want to actually enjoy the story, find a Japanese dubbed version.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, exactly. It does ruin the characters completely.
With chicken voices and the fucking. Just
Oh, God.
Oh, and then
It's
the
Kazuma's voice
and
is
the
just-
lip syncing not matching. Then yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But yeah, no. I guess otherwise, yeah. It's just. I guess what I would say proper though is just. It's cool to see the series come so far from those days.
It hasn't yet, and they haven't ruined it yet. All of them are good. There's not a bad one.
Yeah, and
Oh, Dead Souls, but we're not talking about that.
yeah, even that has some charms. It's just.
I mean, it wasn't a complete garbage, but it's not
I
great.
feel like
it
that
was playable.
I feel like whenever we do that episode, that's going to be the most fun.
That's gonna be the most interesting, I think.
It's
Yeah.
literally like, well, I wrote my college project on it, where we had to.
You
write
did. I
about-
remember that. We'll have to talk about
and
that. Yeah.
literally, I couldn't stop writing about it because the game. It's like I like the game,
Yes.
but then there's got this problem, then the AI, then the combat,
Oh my god.
then the Molotov
Yeah.
cocktail throwers.
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I think we'll have to go next, just because
I
that's the
actually
one to talk
wouldn't
about.
mind doing that whenever we come back to this series.
We'll do that one next.
Because it is
I think
probably
we'll do Dead Souls next.
because it's the most fun.
It'd be the funniest one to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, well,
I guess we end. Well, what current games you play at the moment?
possibly Final Fantasy 16 when it comes out Thursday.
Oh yeah, comes out now soon. That's quick.
Yeah, because I played the demo and it was really good.
Yeah.
And otherwise, yeah, not really a lot else at the moment. You?
No. Okay.
Just busy with life.
Yeah. I think for me it's just Yakuza 7 really.
Yeah.
Or Like a Dragon, if you call it in English. It's not even got a title, no number anymore.
Oh.
And
Yeah. Actually, no. It's not really
I think that and Kirby,
Yeah.
an old school Kirby. That's it.
I did want to ask your opinion before we go. What did you think of the Yakuza 8 trailer?
Yakuza 8 trailer. Oh my god, I think it's interesting because it's going to be set in the West, it looks
Yeah,
like, or maybe just a
yeah.
bit of it. But I think it's interesting to put them finally in the Western environment.
Yeah. It's only
I don't know what that is in terms of story, how that happens, but
why he's like.
I'm actually. Yeah, I don't know why he's naked as well. It's random, and it's just like typical Japanese comedy. They're not
Yeah.
going to go.
But I do love.
They're not going to abide to the Westerns. Like, stop doing that. They're just going to go against it, and make it even more mental. Which keep making it more crazy. I'm hoping it's still RPG because it's that character. Because I don't mind it being RPG.
Yeah, I'm still not sure. They haven't actually said what it is yet. If it's
Yeah,
like they didn't really share a lot in the.
it's very basic. I think that's the only content. There's no gameplay. It's just that
and there's
intro.
one cutscene between Ichiban and Kazuma.
Oh yeah,
Um,
but I mean it's because they're focusing on Kazuma's game at the moment. So
Yeah,
that's the main highlight.
but no, and yeah, I guess, and yeah, but yeah, so it'd be cool when it does come out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Kazuma one. Definitely, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
That one looks really good.
November, and then 8's out not that long after.
I think that's gonna be the one I'm actually gonna buy on release, which I haven't done for a long time. But that one I do want to get on release.
Which one?
The Kazuma one, because
Oh,
it looks
yeah.
hilarious.
It does,
Like
yeah.
just when I saw this like gravity whip, that just looks
Yeah,
funny as hell.
agent
You know what the
style.
physics are like in Yakuza games,
Yeah.
and having this like gravity whip in Yakuza physics is gonna be amazing.
And it looks like there's a lot more enemies on screen at once, almost like a
Yeah,
Dinosaur
those are
Age
like
game. So,
yeah.
so I'm just thinking like,
It
oh
looks
god,
cool.
it's going to be absolutely. And I don't know if you watch.
It's gonna be glitchy, but great, but good
Yeah.
glitchiness. I think.
Actually, I'll send you the video after we finished. I literally saw one
Yeah.
earlier, and it's already showing that it's going to be quite glitchy, but in a funny way.
Great, I can't wait. That's gonna be good.
But yeah, anyway.
Okay, we'll end it there because we're talking about other games.
Yeah.
So any comments about Yakuza series and any questions, put them below. And I'll link to some links, I don't know, of like your Yakuza channel again, in case anyone sees it. 'Cause it's funny, that like glitchy stuff you've done.
Yeah.
And there we go. So I'll see everyone. And
Yeah.
see you next time.
Thank you for having me.